Alright everyone, hello and welcome to this next game in the AD2L Season 6 In-House League. It'll be the first game that I've cast in 6.84, so forgive me if I don't know all the item names just yet. And I haven't actually watched any pro games since then either, so I have no idea what the meta is, although Undying Ban, I feel that seems like it would be pretty standard with the humongous buff that he got to his zombies, but I don't know if it's actually what's been banned at all. Skywrath getting banned is a little strange too. We saw him a lot as a support in 6.81. Maybe the latter half of 6.81, early 6.82. And Leshrac being banned, obviously. The Octarine core just makes that hero so freaking hard to kill. You have to commit several BKBs to it. And the Lion is picked up, so still not a whole lot different actually as far as first picks go, although the bans are quite different. And we are out of the days of Sniper, Troll, Jug, Axe. Axe still did get banned. And Dazzle and Nature's Prophet are picked up. I know that Prophet got a slight buff in the Ags and a little bit of base damage on his Treants, but I don't know how strong he is. Pretty good combo with Dazzle though, I think. You get that nice heal bomb off of the trees. And he's a fairly flexible pick as well. You can put him in the offlane, you can put him mid, you can put him in the jungle. And the Earthshaker is picked up by the Radiant, so it's still pretty standard 6.83 stuff coming out of the Radiant so far, at least as far as picks go. And Lion and Earthshaker, they've been good for a long time. They'll still be good for a long time, even though Lion's Hex doesn't disable all passives, but including evasion anymore, which was one of the big reasons you saw him picked up in the first place when PA and not Troll, because that's a mischance. When PA and Naga became big. Of course, he's also good against Naga because of the mana drain on illusions, instantly killing him on a 4-second cooldown. No other support can really be quite as effective against that hero. But he's stayed in the game because he's just a good freaking hero to have around, a good balance of disable, of utility, of just a little bit of burst damage, and Earthshaker coming in around, getting a nice long range stun off so Lion can walk up early or get a little bit of time extra for the Lion to blink in. The Storm ban up. I haven't seen Storm in this patch yet. What did he get? He got an armor nerf? Or is that just what everyone on Reddit was suggesting? I don't remember exactly what his nerfs were. I remember them being relatively minor, so he's probably still a pretty strong hero. He was always on the cusp. Like, he was tier 2 for sure, but... And Alina getting banned out as well. And we're going to talk about the other ones. The Drow and the Weaver got banned for the Radiant. Drow makes sense. They did have Dazzle and H's up, so they didn't want to get the all-range team against them. And Weaver, let's see, Geminate no longer has a maximum range, which is awesome. Only a 0.25 second delay on the Geminate attack, the Geminate attack actually proccing. So that's actually a really huge buff for a couple of reasons. The first is you have a little bit of extra burst when you're weaving in and out. You don't have to wait for that second attack to come really quickly, and you have they have a little bit smaller window to use like a wand charge after the first attack or something, which can help you get another couple of kills if somebody is a little slow to use their items and notice they're taking too much damage to survive. And the other reason that is really freaking huge is because before, you could always get the Geminate off, you could run in, attack, Geminate, and if you knew the Geminate would kill them, you could let the attack stay in the air and still time-lapse back before they put a maximum range on Geminate. And this Geminate attack proc regardless of when you time-lapse, and you'd be able to make sure you avoided all stuns that way, and you could still kill them with a second Geminate proc coming out from long range. They're probably not paying attention to because it comes from just so far away and they can't see it leave your hero. Now, even if you time lapse before the second Geminate proc comes out, it will still go because the maximum range has been removed. And Beastmaster being picked up as well as Clockwork. So the two offlaners shown pretty early. Beastmaster all around just a fantastic utility hero. He has that BKB piercing disable that really pushes everybody else away. He is really freaking good in combination with like an Ags Puck. You don't necessarily have to have the Ags, depends on how many BKBs they pick up, but you can Dream Coil their team, stun one, and they all pop out of the Dream Coil because they get pushed away once Beast has his Ags, because it increases the knockback. But you can get a really good 5-man stun with that, and if you have the Ags on Puck, then you can get it all 5-man going through BKB, which is just freaking amazing. And can really win you a fight if you set it up right like that. And the Clockwork is picked up for the Dire. Let's see, what did he get? Did he get any changes at all in 8.4? Flare is faster. Hard to say whether that's really a buff or nerf. It's just a little bit different. You got to relearn the timings for blocking the camps, but I think overall it's a buff. Just because you don't have to predict quite as far into the future when you're firing a rocket across the map. So probably a decent form. Tinker banned out. I haven't seen Tinker play much this patch. At least on the pub level. I don't know how much he's been played at the pro level, but he still can't ancient farm anymore, so might be a decent last ban. And they do need to ban out a mid of some function, since that is the position still open. Ember Spirit being banned out by the Radiant, and Juggernaut still gets picked, but he's a 4th pick. This is so amazing, honestly. They're going for orange, apparently, so they do ban out the Ember Spirit that would complete that nice little color theme for them, but and Morphling picked up for the Dire. I have not seen Morphling's new Ags. I doubt that it's going to be picked up on Morph in really any scenario other than having a Welfare Alchemist, but it could be good. Are there any heroes that would be actually useful on so far for him? No, there aren't, but there could be a mid-sniper here. He would die so much line Earthshaker if Dazzle and Prophet are not on top of their game, but if they can keep him alive, I feel like all the extra agility on the super range of Sniper would be quite strong, honestly. Well, let's see how they choose to do it. Would it? Yeah, the Morphling plus Ember Spirit would have been quite strong as well. Although not as strong as most. Let's see. He still does get 1 attack off on everybody with the Sleight of Fist. I don't know, it's hard to say. And I appear to have screwed something up with the stream. I think I know what I did, and that would be really bad. I mean, not necessarily bad for everybody, just not ideal. Let's see if I forgot to change the settings on the delay server. No, not there. .conf. Okay, well, I will upload this later then. It'll just be in client for now because I don't really know what's wrong. I'll have to figure out. Unfortunately, the open platform version of OBS is not quite ready for development or deployment yet, and I'm using it anyway, which means I have to take a couple of extra little steps in between to get a delay server actually up and running. But enough of that for now. We'll go ahead and introduce the teams. We have on the Dire Prohibit playing what looks to be a jungle Nature's, Master Matt playing Dazzle as the solo support, Mayatobin playing safe lane farming Morphling, and JQ, we didn't actually talk about this pick, but the last pick here is Invoker, and it looks like he's either going to go Quaswex or Quas's Door, but almost certainly going to go Quaswex since he started with the Quas Orbs. Usually although I don't know, he's getting phase up immediately instead of picking up that Null Talisman first. So it could still be Quas Exhort, just with a really unorthodox start. But we'll see how it chooses to do it. And Panda playing the off-lane Clockwork. There's some sick items, mate. And we actually also have a Meepo. Griffith is going to play that for the Radiant. Jakey is going to be playing the first half of the support duo in the Earthshaker. Fedorable will be playing the Lion, the second part of that roaming duo. Apollo will be playing the safe lane farming Juggernaut, it appears, with Griffith in the mid, actually, on the Meepo. And the off-lane Beastmaster will be played by Archetype, who picked up this new enchanted Mango. I don't know how good this item actually is, but it seems Like, it seems good. It seems really good for offlaners, especially, because you usually don't have a great mana pool. You want to have some extra regen early, and, like, I don't know, it's a lot of gold, but three mangoes seems like too much. Maybe 2 mangoes? Like, 2 mangoes will turn you into an Nyx, basically, as far as regen is concerned. I'll be fine with this block. And Nyx, like, he's notoriously difficult to zone out in the offlane just because he has so much regen. He can trade time for experience and CS pretty effectively without having to spend quite as much money on regen. And of course, as this is only a dual lane, Beastmaster should be perfectly okay. Like, he can get zoned out early a little bit, but yeah, those whirling axes will give him plenty of space to get CS. Actually, he's going to force Mastamat to back off here. Tanks up the entirety of that poison touch without too much trouble there. Not a really good exchange for him early. But let's see how mid goes. This is where the interesting stuff is going to happen, because neither one of them can really kill the other super early. But at the same time, as soon as Griffith gets his level 3, we're going to see some nonsense happening. Yeah, he's farming perfectly okay. He gets that bottle up really quickly. He absolutely rushed that, it looks like. Yeah, nothing but a bottle. And I don't know how that happened. He must have gotten really aggressive. Oh yeah, he did. Looks like he tried to go in onto Maya and ended up getting nuked down. A combination of the waveform and the poison touch, plus it looks like a little bit of shadow wave action, making sure he can't quite kill off Maya in time, and goes down for his trouble. But at the same time, he comes back with full mana. Yeah, Maya's going to get by that, but it's not so much that he really has to worry about it. If he'd waited to level 3, maybe that would have been more effective, but he's going to try again. Dazzle does have another Shadow Wave available. Yeah, maybe he was tanking some creeps while I got Shadow Waved as well. Back to mid for a while. Griffith does have his level 3. And, gonna go grab the rune with the real Meepo. Secondary Meepo sits over here, just saps XP from the lane, but he can't quite get it. Nature's Prophet or Prohibit on top of his game there. Let's see what he's bringing out. Phase Boots are already complete for Invokers, so he straight up rushed those and has finished them. So he is going to try to force Griffith to not be getting anything at all out of this lane. He's actually right-clicking down pretty effectively. Like, Griffith doesn't have a whole lot of armor or HP this early. Actually has 5 armor. 24 damage, though, from the Phase Boots are actually just really huge at 2 minutes. We didn't actually talk Beastmaster's buff. He has 63 base damage now. Might be 64. But you can actually push him up to... Oh, no, it's 66. Because if you get 2 branches and a circlet, you'll have 70 damage at level 1. So that is really massive, I think, if he were to be landing in mid, but in the offlane it's a little bit harder. He's going to try to go for Maya Tobin again, but yeah, Mastamat's just going to come in with a casual poison touch, and Maya's going to probably waveform through if they can get enough damage off onto him. There's the waveform. A couple more right clicks, but Archetype shouldn't quite go down here. They're going to try, but it's not enough. Meanwhile, Prophet picking up the DD rune bottom that was never picked up, and he's going to go TP behind the tower onto Archetype. Gonna attempt to get the skill here. Gonna summon up some trees to tank the tower for him. Got a Diagro if you want to do that. Diagro if you want to do that. Archetype gonna try to do some work, but oh, he does finally Diagro. There we go. Almost ends up going down there, but Mastamat coming in with a timely heal. Unfortunately, that means he doesn't have any spells available for Maya later. But still a worthwhile rotation nonetheless, and Meepo picks up a regen rune. He has pushed the lane like all the way back under the second tower though, so JQ's able to see us perfectly fine back here. Probably gonna, well, most players would pick up a Midas at this point, I think. We'll see what he chooses to do. It's not going to be a Necrobook most likely, just because of the Quaswex nature of this particular game. I don't know, I haven't seen Invoker in such a long time. I don't know what the meta is for him anymore, if it's even changed. If it hasn't changed, Quaswex can be getting drums for Staff Midas. Eventually diverges depending on the player. Sometimes people get refresher. Sometimes people will pick up the. They don't usually pick up the Necrobook on Quaswex. The Yules can be strong as well if they going Wexort, which you see sometimes. The Meatball and Deafening Blast Sunstrike combo after the Yules, but probably not what he's going to look to do this time. We'll see how it goes. Does throw out the Cold Snap, going to get a couple right clicks onto Griffith, but it's just not going to be enough. Oh, and actually he misses the net, so Griffith could potentially go down here, gets the Geostrike proc off though, so Invoker will not be able to follow that up. He does have a spell available. He is... Oh, the poof was in... comes back around and he jukes him. Impressive play coming out from Griffith. He's got to send that Meepo back to base. He's going to try to turn around on IQ, but there's a Dazzle coming in. Looks like he's going to slow him up. And yeah, he's just going to poof back out to second Meepo. He's going to be perfectly okay after all that. Really fantastic play out of him. Unfortunate that he was playing Invoker over there. JQ was unable to pick up that kill. 2 mangoes for the Earthshaker. Interesting. I haven't seen supports get mangoes in my pub games yet, but it seems like it could be really good. And that gamble, unfortunately, not paying off. And it looks like Invoker is going to choose to go for the Midas. He has saved up almost enough gold for the recipe, and he should have that entirely completed around 8 minutes after phase, which is quite a good time. And since Invoker benefits just so much from the levels compared to any other hero, excuse me, it'll be good for him to have that up nice and early like that. Tread's completed off of the Meepo as well. I heard a hook. Yeah, hook goes in onto Jakey. He will go down. Earthshaker was sitting over here just trying to sneak, maybe sneak a kill off for his... There's your stick icon. Sneak a kill off for his team, but unable to do so. He gets spotted out by something. And probably just a flare. And Panda wants to walk up the hill, but Apollo wants him to as well. Going with the 1-1-1 stats build. And Griffith, he does get slowed up with that Poison Touch, but only 1 level in Poison Touch, not really going to do a whole lot. 3 levels in heal possibly necessary, especially with the bomb you can get off the Nature's Prophet, who is straight up rushing an Ags. Yeah, that's definitely an Ags. I don't know if Ags is super good on this hero, but those Treants seem like they would be food for a Meepo. Just saying. Maya being forced to waveform away there. He will regen up just fine because he does have his Ring of Health finished up, and he doesn't care about the mana because of that Aquila, but just forced off the lane for a little bit. Gonna miss a couple of CS probably under the tower here. About as much as Beastmaster can hope to do at this point. Regen Rune is available. Jakey gonna try to do some damage to Griffith now, but he's so tanky with those strength treads. And it looks like Master Matt and Jakey are gonna just duel it out here in the river. There is a salve available. Clockwork missing his hook. And Prohibit actually... Oh no! Jakey manages to get his... doesn't get his salve off. Master Matt cancels it immediately after its cast. And Prohibit using that ulti and coming with a TP quite at the right time. Able to clean up that kill onto Earthshaker. Not able to kill the Meepo there. Master Matt not quite in range for the heal bomb, but they should get this tower fairly easily. Although they might have to trade away the bottom T1. They haven't used their fort yet. It is available. They're probably going to wait until Apollo actually hits up on the post up on the tower here. And it looks like he will back off. He realizes he's not going to get this full-on trade. And that should bring... Yeah, Prohibit is only 1 item away from his Ags. That honestly might be really freaking strong when you get it at 11 minutes. I never considered that somebody might rush it, honestly, when I was reading the patch notes. It always seemed like, yep, it's another gimmicky Ags for the Welfare Alchemist that isn't really all that effective against most teams because you usually do pick up at least some amount of wave clear. Although his own team is sorely lacking wave clear, actually. Jakey just casually walking up and grabbing a CS, but this tower should go down at this point. There's no real way to stop it, and yeah, force a delay, but that's all it's going to be. There is a rotation coming in. Master Matt throwing down a Ward and a Sentry there. Sentry looks like it was already there, actually. But throwing out a ward, unfortunately Fedorable is going to be able to cut him off, and there's plenty of Radiant Vision around here because of that. Hook does go in onto Jakey, and it looks like Jakey will go down here. Invoker comes in, he uses Call Snap on Apollo, but he gets Earth Spiked, and the Blade Fury will get Apollo out for now. Unfortunately, trees will hold him in place, and his healing ward does get canceled immediately. He's going to try to deny himself to rush, and actually he's going to be perfectly successful. No, he won't. The dot finishes him off from Mass to Mat. That deny on the illusion rune is strange. Meanwhile, did somebody else die there? I think... Okay, Panda went on somebody else in the back lines over here, but I didn't see who it was. They didn't die, it looks like, though. And Midas is finished up for JQ. This game is potentially over at this point. Griffith has not died yet, and Meepo can solo carry a game. He's one of those few heroes that can do it. Roar being used on Maya Tovent, and the net is going out to try and hold him in place, but Maya just casually replicates out to the Beastmaster illusion he had made moments before. They're going to try to actually turn around on Griffith here, and one of his Meepos doesn't have enough mana to actually to poof. And he does go down to the dot, but not before... Yeah, not before he takes out Dazzle after the Shallow Grave, unable to keep Dazzle alive. So, first kill of the game, or first kill for the Radiant, going the way of Meepo. He does die for it, giving away some pretty valuable levels in the process, but... Ags is finished. Okay, let's see how this happened, how this worked. There are none in this lane. 2 in this lane that aren't being microed. 4 that were just made, as well as 2 that are now being microed. I don't know how worthwhile that was. It's a lot of damage, though, and a lot of push. Like, we'll see how it works out for him. He doesn't even have boots, and there's no way for him to get out here, so Griffith can actually catch him up here. Oh, he does hit the Earthbind, so he's going to be able to get the entire... Oh, no, he can't get the entire combo if he doesn't have a Quelling Blade. He does hit the second Earthbind, though, completely blind. Fedorable does get caught up by the hook. He throws out an Earth Spike, but it's not enough. He is going to go down. And Griffith is still desperately trying to take out Prohibit. There's 3 heroes here now. He is going to get Prohibit down to 1 HP, and he will take him out there after the end, but... unfortunately, he's going to be unable to walk out. He is stuck in the cogs with 2, and 1's just being right-clicked down by Mastomat on the other side. And he does go down once again. Still trading 1 for 1, but you gotta do better. Meepo can carry a game, but not with 1 for 1 trades, unfortunately. He's been dealt sort of a shit lot, but I still think he can bring it back. 5, 1, and 2. Like, the kills are all on Dazzle and Clockwork, not the most effective heroes on the enemy team, or on the Dire. And actually looks like it's going to be an Orchid Rush for Invoker after that Midas. Yeah, it's pretty good against the Juggernaut. Really freaking good against most of the heroes, actually. And it can prevent the poof out from Meepo. So a good choice all around, I think. And the bottom tier 1 does go down. No contest given. Apollo just desperately trying to farm up his first item. He has 1,300 gold. I don't know what he's building into. Usually you'd see a Morbid Mask at this point by 6182. He did pick something up. What's on the courier here? Yeah, Morbid Mask is picked up by him. So he's probably just saving Reliable, right? Yeah, he was just saving up his Reliable. Another hook by Clockwork over onto the Lion. Hex does come out immediately, but Mastomat throwing in a heal and a slow as well, and Fedorable will end up going down here as soon as the pause leaves. And there it goes. Apollo's going to come in, he's going to try to get something done. He uses his Blade Fury. Griffith TP's in, but he gets immediately treed up. Several Meepos around. He's able to take out Panda before anything else happens. Unfortunately, he did get caught in the Dazzle ulti, so he does go down eventually to Maya Tovent, just waveforming through his Meepos after the one took a lot of right-click damage, because Weave makes Meepo really, really squishy, as it does with most heroes. That'll be a tier 2. This game is probably over at this point. I don't know how effective this Ags was. I saw it do a fair amount of damage, one. Well, no, I didn't even see the Axe do from which I saw Prohibit use his ulti to get like 2 kills with TPs in, but that was before he finished the Axe. It seems like with Refresher, okay, there it is. It's being used. So let's see. How many did he get? None in bottom. Oh no. 2 in bottom. 3? Yeah, 3 in bottom. Okay. None in top. 1, maybe 2 in mid, depending on how much they had tanked. That just doesn't seem like it does a whole lot. Another hookshot used. He hooked onto creeps though, so nothing happening there. Apollo cleaning up some extra trees in the meanwhile. And JQ going around in Ghost Walk form now. He doesn't have the ability to, what is that spell called? Alacrity himself. So he's going to have a difficult time actually killing anybody off. He does reveal himself to Apollo there. No vision around here. None of them actually have it available. The creeps do see Master Mat rotating in, but there's a Meepo on the back lines here. Apollo is going to just spin away from this, yeah. TP in from Prohibit, and Griffith does actually poof all of his Meepos in, and he's going to get a lot of damage off. He might actually get some kills along with the Earthshaker Echo Slam, and that'll be 3 heroes dead. Gank turned around for him. I did see Clockwork maybe hooked in on the back lines. He is able to take out Fedorable on the back lines. He's going to try desperately to take out Griffith as well, using that Blade Mail fairly effectively, but he's unable to actually get the kill. Mytovant, though, he does waveform through and gets me. He's going to get another kill onto JK as well, but JK is able to wand up, and Maya does not see him as he walks through the trees. Prohibit did buy back in TPN, and that will be the mid T2, but I mean, not but. Gank gets turned around and gets turned around again. That was looking really, really good for the Radiant, and I think they actually probably still did make out well there. Yeah, the Radiant did manage to bring it back. It looks like 4,000 net worth overall, and about as much experience as well. So trading a tower away for a 4,000 net worth swing and XP swing in your favor, probably not the worst trade, honestly. And Meepo, he is level 15 now, still ahead of everybody else. It really, really hurts when he dies, just because he is so far ahead, and there are the comeback mechanics as far as XP is involved. It hurts when anyone in this team dies, honestly, because there is that team component. Maya throwing away his salve. He has a Perseverance and an Eagle Song, so it looks like it was just a casual Perseverance into what's going to end up being an F-Blade, but alright, this builds with double into Refresher Orb now, I gotta remember. And there's also the Lotus Orb. And so probably Lincoln's, maybe Lotus. I haven't seen the Lotus Orb very much. Like, I saw it a lot on the first day because people didn't really know not to click your spells on the hero when it was up. But it honestly just seems like a shittier version of Lincoln's in general. What? Archetype just roared a creep, but he does end up going down. A hookshot comes in. He was dead regardless of whether he roared the creep, I think. Maya's going to just TP back and get some mana up. But really unfortunate to use that cooldown. It's not on cooldown for a whole lot of time, but it could be enough to lose a building. Meanwhile, Prohibit just split pushing away. Is he really getting a Radiance? I think he is. He has 3,500 gold banked up, and he's going to have enough after this wave to get the Relic. He's just decided at this point that it really doesn't matter. It could be the Arrogance that loses in the game, though, because Meepo can still come back from this. Like, I've seen Meepos carry worse games, frankly. I heard another spike. Looks like it was just casually thrown out onto creeps or something. JQ is going to come up here. He doesn't reveal himself yet. Now they should see. Looks like two things. I don't know what that drum was, but Apollo is being gone on here. He's unable to get his Blade Fury off. Was it on cooldown? No, he just didn't use it there. He couldn't have Blade Fury TP'd because there was the Clockwork Hook available, but he doesn't end up going down. So the Lion dies over here, and who did he die to? He died to Morphling. So Morphling probably showing that F-Blade, yeah. And Earthshaker is able to kill off Prohibit up here as well. Earthshaker being played by Jakey. Jakey versus Prohibit, the age-old rivalry. They do seem to almost always be on opposite teams with the auto balance here. Alright, I heard Prohibit's ulti go out. How much did it matter? I don't see, like, any trees. I just don't know how much it matters. Like, it is a nice damage bonus, but... Oh, wait. No, he's not going Radiance. He's going Octarine. Meepo does go down once again to a 3-man rotation. Yeah, that is Octarine, right? Almost certainly. I don't know how good that is either, especially on a hero that has no spell damage outside of his ulti. What else does it do? Passive cooldown reduction, so that will, yeah, of all spells and items. I was wondering about that because the initial description didn't say what cooldowns. But that will reduce the cooldown on his ulti and on his trees. Oh, excuse me. But I don't know. It seems like a gimmicky set of plays. Maybe it's great. Maybe that's actually what's winning in this game. But I think that they win regardless of what items Prohibit builds at this point. Honestly. Yeah, Fedorable just desperately trying to save up enough reliable for that Blink Dagger. Meanwhile, though, Jakey actually has a lot of freaking gold. He's gonna try to get some good damage off here on Mastamat. He's gonna have the extra bonus. He gets a decent amount of damage, and he is gonna... Oh, no, he runs out. Runs out of mana there. He uses a wand charge to try and get enough. Meanwhile, though, heroes are dying over here. I was totally looking at the wrong thing. Griffith, sort of stuck, and yeah, the low one is in the wrong place. Maya waveforms forward and does take him out. All that minus armor just really freaking huge on Meepo. On a lot of heroes generally, but especially on Meepo. Buyback coming out from Meepo. Jakey is forward. He does have that extra burst damage, and Mastamat will go down. Myotoma does get held in place, but he should be able... Oh, wait. No, actually, he won't be able to get out to his illusion. He will waveform away, probably, but nope, he's going to get stunned up immediately. He does get the waveform off in the end. He still has F-Blade available. He uses it to kill off Jakey, because he knows that he's going to end up dying, and wants to get as much damage off as possible beforehand. So that buyback for Griffith really proving to be incredibly useful. He does manage to get a double kill and still survive. Throw your Meepos home, bud. Yeah, he's going to throw him home now. But it looks like Panda's going to sit over here and just get ult. Oh, no, Omni Slash is down. And this tier 1 tower will go down without a contest. There is a... I mean, there's... Yeah, a fort's available, so just a little bit of delay. The roar goes out, not really doing a whole lot since Panda was inside of Cogs at the time. Just trying to get some harass off. And it looks like JQ will start an initiation, but no follow-up spells available. He had to invoke that for the fight, so he was unable to get anything else. Hookshot missed over on the back lines. An attempted kill onto Apollo, but not silenced before he was able to get that Blade Fury off. A blink forward with some poofs by Griffith, but he poofs back to the wrong things and runs all of his Meepos into the Cogs. Now we might see some damage going out to kill him, but nah, he's going to be able to walk away. His team does cover for him on the way out. So overall, nobody actually dying on either side there for all the posturing that happened. Let's see, does he have his Octarine Core finished? He does have Octarine Core finished. I want to see what he gets next. Honestly, I can't say I ever considered this build, but that does mean that... Oh, cool, it actually registers. So 56.25 seconds. And Jakey attempting to go on to Prohibit here, but there is an Invoker available. He's going to walk out, though. He knows he can't take on Griffith all by himself, and Prohibit is just going to end up going down. He does throw out an Tornado, but I don't know how... yeah, you're just going to die now. Unable to get that Ghost Walk invoked for another couple of seconds, and... oh, Maya, he missed. He's got to waveform away here. Yeah, he does waveform away. Could have waveformed up the cliff, actually. He's going to try to kill off Griffith, and he does get Griffith off in the end, actually. Blinked forward by Jakey, but he's going to end up going down. It was a really long stun because of all the strength that he's morphed. Doesn't say what the actual stun is at this. That would be a really nice change. If the tooltip would tell you what the stun was at your current ratio. But... I mean, obviously they can do it since the Octarine core changes the tooltips for the time. Well, obviously they know how to create a system that would allow them to do it. They may not be able to do it natively just yet, but it would be a good change to see. I would really freaking like that, actually, not having to guess how long your stun would be, or what your agi multiplier would be either. Earth Spike going out, yeah, just to kill some creeps. Then casual Blade being thrown onto Apollo, but an immediate Blade Fury ensures that he will survive as Maya replicates himself out. Meanwhile, Prohibit just pushing out. Let's see what he chooses to get here. He still only has brown boots. I'm really freaking interested. He's not carrying a TP. Oh man, Nature's Prophets that don't carry TPs. There's a special place in hell. Alright, what do you make in the new items? Is that a... yeah, that's a Lotus Orb. Or a Lotus Flower. What is it called? Yeah, Lotus Orb. So, this game actually is coming to be a lot more even at this point. Griffith able to get a lot of work done. Let's see what he has on his main hero as far as items go. He does have Aghanim's, does have Blink. And that's probably going to be an S and Y, maybe? Clockwork Hook used. Looks like he missed and hit on creeps, so he's going to die regardless. Griffith is able to get one of his heroes in there. But the Tornado comes out and... okay, yeah, he does actually manage to poof everybody in, but he gets hit on all 5 Meepos with that minus armor debuff from Master Matt. Apollo does not have mana, so he should actually go down here, but Earthshaker comes in with a block, and that actually holds him in place for quite a while. Blinking by Meepo, followed by an Earthshaker Echo Slam. There is a waveform available or used, and Meepo does end up going down. Oh, and he actually is able to take out... who is playing that? Take out Juggernaut Apollo on the back lines as well, so Maya making big plays there. Roar coming out onto Prohibit, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough, yeah. The ulti is going to get thrown out, and Maya's going to come forward for him. A waveform should take him down. The waveform had gone out while it was debuffed. He would have gone down, but he still goes down to a right click. Maya going to take it up. Doesn't know that Jakey's on him just yet. Extra little bit of bonus damage. I wonder if Jakey's planning on building this into a Break Blade. It looks like he's going to try really hard to kill off Prohibit here, and he's gotten really close. One more right click should do it. But he's going to get... like, as soon as he gets close enough to right click, Maya's just going to stun him up and take him down. I expect him to use the Blade there, but he opts to go for the stun instead. It was probably the right decision. He ends up getting the kill instead of just kiting him for a little bit longer. And... yeah, this game... it's probably all but over. Wait. Juggernaut built a Silver Edge. Sorry. I don't know how useful that is in that hero. It doesn't seem like it did a whole lot. Also, 2 Shadow Blades on one team. Looks like we're gonna see a Vlad's coming out for Beastmaster. And Lion still, Fedorable is getting there. He's like 2/3 of the way to his blink. And that could be a really big spike in power for the Radiant team. Like the blink initiation to keep maybe a Morphling from kiting around your Meepo forever, or even to take out a Dazzle before the minus armor goes out. Because Meepo is really not dying in fights until after he gets debuffed by the Weave. So if you can pop the Dazzle before he can get any spells off, then that could be really freaking good. And a Blink can be instrumental in doing that. Pause coming out. Let's see how all the items are progressing. 2k gold available for Griffith. He did have to cut down his farm for quite a while because he bought back, but getting it back up. Gonna save for some buyback, it looks like, but he should be on his way to his next item fairly soon. Who paused? He paused initially, so he is AFK at the moment. Looks like an Echo Slam was used, and that will take down 3 heroes. Maya Tobin is still trying to get some work done, but he gets roared up, and he will go down. Griffith just right-clicks him. Fighting 4v5, not really great. Yeah. I don't know. That's really unfortunate. I'm not sure really what all the rules are for this tournament. I think that might be a forfeit, but at least not if you're not waiting for the full 3 minutes. But an admin will have to deal with that. Fortunately, those aren't decisions that I have to make. Ross will be up here in another minute. Griffith's just going to leave his extra meepos in there so he can poof in and take him down as soon as that Roshan spawns. And for now, he'll just content himself to push out the lane. Adorable. He's nearly got it, man. 500 away. He's got to be looking at creep camps with a super greedy eye. Oh man, if you'd watched a little bit south, you would have seen. Actually, you. No, you can't. That's not your obs. Roshan up here in about 20-30 seconds. And Juggernaut able to take out the bottom tower without any really resistance. Morphling still down, and they're still down Nature's Prophet as well. He has bought himself up a Shadow Blade. Looks like he is going to start joining the game again. He TPs into the pit just in time for Rosh to spawn, but he doesn't see the spawn. Oh, wow. And he spots out Meepo. There's already an Invis Invoker on this team. The amount of Invis that I've seen in 6.84 is borders on ridiculous. Everybody knows now that Roshan is up. The Eth Blade projectile to be dodged by Apollo. He just uses that Blade Fury to get on out of it. Something we haven't talked about, actually, Dazzle has picked up Guardian Greaves. Stun being used up by Maya Tobin, but he might still... No, replicates out. That blink poof coming in, but Jakey is desperately trying. He wants to get this kill off onto Mastamat, and Mastamat will get bursted down immediately, so there is no weave coming out, so this actually should be a one fight, judging by the past experience. Apollo using ulti there on Panda, so Panda will go down. And EMP goes out, but Jakey just blinks past and takes out, he does have Breakblade finished, takes out Invoker on the back lines. Maya looks like he will be able to finish him off. If he waveformed through, he could have, probably. Would have been close, but then he wouldn't have had to wait for him to get out. Apollo and Griffith will take out the Roshan here, though, after winning that fight. And Prohibit is going to stand in here and just try to deny the Aegis. Maybe he's going to try to take, yeah, he's going to try to take it. Meepo did pick up the Aegis, so... he will have to be killed twice here. No? Oh, he TP'd the real Meepo back to base in time. Oh, wow, what a play. Good job. Well done. So, Diffusal Blade. That was something that I had considered, but it doesn't, like, stack the... Oh, wait, it's not an orb anymore, so Geostrike will stack with it. Okay, but it doesn't stack on all the Meepos. That would just be OP, but maybe the one is worth it. Like, it gives you the slow, you can catch up with the net, you can catch, and once you have somebody in the net, yeah, it might be good. And it's also really a freaking lot of agi. My Atonement coming in here from the back line. He's going to try to take out Archetype. He does get, Panda gets roared, but Archetype does end up going down for it. Jakey blinks up into the trees for himself. He does have Break Blade off cooldown very soon, and Clockwork's Flare doesn't see him, so he should be fine to just walk away. And that he does. He does see Panda, so he might want to go in for it. And yeah, it looks like he is going to try to get that. Yeah, he will take it off. Throws up the stun. He does still have ulti, but he's going to blink out as soon as he sees Nature's Prophet TPing in, and that net does miss. What is that called? Earthbind? Earthbind does miss. Tornado out onto Meepo, hits 4 of them. Prohibit is TPing in immediately right there. Maya's going to try to burst down Griffith here. Throws up the F-Blade, and he will eventually go down just to right-clicks from the rest of the heroes. He was held in place there for a little while by those cogs. And the stun goes out, and actually, oh man, the Adaptive Strike gets him just in range enough for the waveform. Do they have the same range now? No, Adaptive is slightly shorter. So better to say, I guess it did just enough damage to ensure the waveform went out. Regardless, quite well played there, and Griffiths does buy back here. Archetype gets silenced up and hook shot, so he will go down, but a lot of spells used on him, and Juggernaut does ulti onto Maya Totem, but Maya just replicates out. Panda should go down here, it looks like, and Griffith is holding Maya into the base. He does waveform away, but there is an Earthshaker around. A blink forward, yeah, by him. He goes on to Mastamat, actually, so that Masta can't shallow grave Maya. They are going to try to catch him up. Griffith does have his Blink Dagger available very soon, but the waveform away does keep him alive for now. Jakey and Mastamat going on a merry chaser in the trees over here. And Maya does finally get caught. 2 seconds till he can waveform, so he's going to probably waveform away as soon as possible. He does waveform into the trees, but not quite far enough. He will go down here. And Jakey coming in and ensuring that he is held in place long enough for that. It looks like he wasn't able to get Dazzle, but a really good change of objective nonetheless. Prohibited, meanwhile, is pushing up top lane. And he will get this tower, it looks like for free, but there is the Shadow Blade off of Jakey. He's going to try to hold Prohibit in place here, but he's actually just going to go into Mastamat. A lot of damage combining up the Break Blade with the Enchant Totem. And Dazzle will go down. He gets just stunned up the entire time. A Fissure coming out as well as another Enchant Totem later. So the Radiant do hold another buyback from Griffiths, but if they can keep holding, he still has enough gold for another buyback after that. Like, he is prioritizing the buyback. He hasn't been buying items very much. Looks like he's going to pick up a Scotty next. Probably, oh, he could be a Scythe, actually. We've seen both on Meepos. Let's see, what would be best for him? The Hex doesn't have a really long range, but it would help hold in Morphling long enough for him to really get some decent damage off. Anyone else who's really huge on? There's the Invis. Like, you'd be able to prevent Invoker from going Invis, prevent, or do the same for Nature's Prophet. Like, it could be good. Scotty could be good too. Slowing down a little bit more. Either one can be strong. We're probably going to see the Hex, though. I think that's usually what you see. Yeah, and here's the Hex coming out. Opting not to save for buyback this time. He's confident that by the time his buyback is off cooldown in 4 minutes, he'll be able to have farmed up enough gold to have that available again. Sort of relying on not dying in the meantime, though, because if he does die in the meantime, he's unlikely to be able to actually farm up quite enough for buyback in the interim. And Blink Dagger is picked up, and oh yeah, the rest of the Hex is not very expensive. Real Meepo. Hex is picked up for him, available for next team fight, and since he doesn't have buyback available for this team fight, it's probably best to just go ahead and pick that up, even though you're spending some reliable gold, because it gives you the greatest chance of winning a team fight and not having to use it. We didn't talk about, and I even said we didn't talk about, and then still didn't talk about, Guardian Greaves coming out for Dazzle. So, Guardian Greaves I'm torn on as an item. Maybe you have a different opinion, but the loss... Oh, hold up. We're going to see an Echo Slam into just a straight-up, like, Stunlock kill onto Dazzle. That means that Dazzle will not be able to shallow grave anybody in this upcoming fight, so it's probably worth, especially since Dazzle's really been instrumental in making sure that Meepo dies each fight. Meanwhile, though, Prohibit's actually just taking objectives. I don't remember. I don't remember if that went down earlier or not. I don't think it did. I think Prohibit just straight up took that. Like, that is ridiculous. And he's going to take it again. Oh, wow. AC is huge. Lion gets blown up immediately. That's probably going to be the end of the game. And Griffith actually will go down here, unable to get his Meepo out in time, and he doesn't have buyback. Oh no! Oh no, he could have won that actually. He didn't break the Lincolns with the Fusel Blade. He used Scythe immediately. Oh man. Well, it was a hard game for him to bring back. He was the only person who hadn't died 3 or more times at like 10 minutes, so you can't really blame him for one mistake, but as unlikely as a win was, the popping that Hex on the Lincolns, I think, made it impossible. We'll see how the heroes get to hold. Maya is held in place for quite some time by the roar, but he is able to get out now. The EMP comes out, and yeah, everybody will just die. There is a buyback available. Apollo used it. He's going to run forward, and he's going to try to get JQ. They're going to hold this tower for a little while. And JQ does get graved. Master Mad is going to get torn up by Apollo here. The Basher? Yeah, Basher is going to hold him in place for a while. I really like that new animation, by the way. There is still a fort available. Oh, they didn't use it. Well. That was a really hard game for the Radiant to come back from. It's really impressive they managed to hold for as long as they did off the back of Jakey and Griffith for the most part. But well played by all. Incredibly enjoyable game to watch. I don't know how the Octarine Core Ags is. I don't know if it's good. It worked, I guess. We'll have to see it used in a couple more games to really get a sense of how effective that does end up being, because it seemed pretty lackluster, but the extra damage and the cooldown reduction might have been bigger than we really gave it credit for. If you enjoyed the game, you can watch these. They're the AD2L Season 6 in-house league. You can watch them if you have the Season 7 ticket. Oh no, this ticket is 99 cents in the shop, yeah. This ticket is 99 cents in the shop. The Season 7 for the main AD2L is in the shop as well. It's like $4 and comes with a pretty sweet courier. And if you want to watch these on Twitch, you can at twitch.tv/Nifan, or you can follow and I'll send up pregame tweets on Twitter at @NifanDota. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.